All right, good day, everybody. This is Emar Sopertooth of Sports Inquirer, and we're happy to be joined for the first time by Georgia Tech volleyball player DeAndra Pierce. DeAndra, thank you for joining us in our program. How has the season been going for you so far and the Yellow Jackets as you progress through the season?
Yeah, our season has actually been going really good. We've had a lot of good wins in our belt. I don't know our exact record, but we've only lost one game so far. And then right now we're kind of in the start. We've only had two games in our ACC conference, and we won both of those. So I think we're all pretty happy with our success so far, and I think we're just ready to keep going and keep getting better.
Yeah, the team has not dropped a contest since the loss at home to Georgia. What's been the difference in these past few matches to, rebound from that loss and to have strong form right now?
I think we kind of just said like things like this happen, and like if anything, we can learn and grow from it. And that we were happy that this kind of thing did happen at the beginning of the season, so we can like learn from our mistakes, get better from it. So I think that's what we've just been focusing on. We kind of just like left it in the past. And now I think it kind of motivated us to work even harder. So like something like that just like, wouldn't happen again.
Yeah, and how's it been for you personally transferring into the program and finding your comfort level on the court?
Yeah, it has been different. Now that like I am playing a lot more, just kind of like finding my voice on the court and like finding my role and like what kind of finding out like I guess what type of player I want to be. But it has been super fun, especially with a lot of support from my teammates. That's been super helpful. And just like knowing, especially like support from my coaches, like knowing like they want me to be out there and like they believe in me. So just knowing that I have a bunch of support out there helps me a lot. And yeah.
Yeah, no, if our research is correct, you did not play last season, correct, on the court anywhere?
No, I did not. I
Yeah,
redshirted last season.
yeah. So how's that been getting back playing? So it's been almost 2 years since you were playing. Since playing on the court. How's that been for you getting back into playing again?
It's been fun. I mean, there is times where like it is hard, just like kind of like finding like my identity when it comes when I am not having the best game, like my team's not having the best game. But I think just like I just have to remind myself the reason why I'm here, the reason why I love the game of volleyball, and that kind of helps me stay motivated. And yeah, I just try to have fun no matter what. So I don't kind of like think about like the outside stressors coming in. But yeah.
And why? What were the reasons you transferred into Georgia Tech, and what was that process like for you as far as the at your previous program and the coaches, maybe Georgia Tech coach reaching out to you, and you ultimately coming here? What was that process like?
Yeah, so um I love Texas. That was like my dream school to play at. And plus I'm from Austin, so like that was my hometown too. But it was a very hard decision. But at the end of the day, like there's a lot of girls, older girls playing over me at Texas. And so like I wouldn't have gotten to play to like my senior year. And I think I was just ready to finally get on the court and make a name for myself. So I ended up making that decision in December, and then I entered the portal, and I started talking to a lot of different coaches. And then Georgia Tech reached out to me. They weren't even like on my radar at first. Like obviously, like some people do have like a list of schools that they kind of want to go to. And Georgia Tech wasn't even on mine until they reached out to me. And then I had a lot of calls with Michelle, and I really liked having like a female head coach. And then I didn't really have time to even come and do a visit here because the transition was really fast. Um, but I've never really was in Atlanta before I even like came to Georgia Tech either. So it was a really big like leap of faith decision. But I am really happy that I made the decision. And I think the thing that helped me make the decision the most was Michelle just had a lot of confidence in me. And I think that's what I really needed because I did kind of lack that at Texas for my coaching staff. So I was excited that I could work under a coach that actually like had faith in me and like wanted me to succeed.
Yeah, and what's that been like being in Atlanta away from friends and family? Because you said you're from Austin, you went to college in the same city. How's that adjustment been just on and off the court, being away from the place where you grew up?
It's honestly been okay. Like sometimes I do get a little bit homesick, but I feel like I'm a very independent person, so I've honestly been okay. And my parents still come to every single home game, so
Oh,
I do
wow.
get to see them all the time, which is nice. And yeah, like I have other like my cousin goes to school at Clark Atlanta, which is like 10 minutes from Georgia Tech, so I'm really close with her. So I still have some close friends and family, but it hasn't been bad at all.
Yeah, and so yeah, so you're familiar with the city. That's very good. Yeah, so your parents come to
Mhm.
every match. That has to be really nice. I mean, that's a pretty long trip. What's that like having that support still physically when you're on the court?
It's great. I mean, honestly, whenever they told me that they were gonna come to every home game, I was like, you guys don't have to do that. That's so unnecessary. But I mean, I love that they want to come and watch me play and support me. So yeah.
Yeah, and now the team is heading to Virginia for this upcoming weekend, or at least Virginia Tech. How have practices
Mhm.
been, and what's the team trying to work to continue to get better at as you progress through ACC play?
Yeah, so I think right now the biggest thing our team is getting better at or trying to work on is just like, playing together as a team. I think we've noticed like whenever we are doing really well in games and like we're winning is whenever we're playing together. And then whenever we start not doing well is whenever we kind of start playing individualized. So I think in practices, that's what we're really working on. We're also really working on like our coaches are putting us in like a lot of uncomfortable situations in practice. So like when it's game time ready, we can be ready for those uncomfortable situations and like we're prepared and like we know what to do. But I think the biggest thing is just like playing together as a team because I feel like we all know like once we're playing together, like we can be unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, and is that just playing more matches together, more practices, especially for you being a new player on the team? Do you think that has developed? Have you noticed that improvement just playing as a team since you're now playing more matches more consistently?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do think it has gone better throughout the season. I do think it will continue to get better the more games we play, but I think it really just comes together in practices, especially whenever we are in tough situations, like really coming together, really focusing on trusting each other, really focusing on knowing everyone's going to do their job, making sure that like in tough situations, like we're making eye contact with each other and like giving each other high fives and like supporting each other. I think that's just the biggest thing we're working on right now.
Well, DeAndra, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll catch up in the future.
Thanks for having me.